Hi everyone, Ravi this side. Welcome to Engineering Adda. So today in this video we are going to implement the fuzzy query in the form of Spring Boot APIs. So we have the fuzzy query in Elasticsearch and we are going to implement that fuzzy query in the form of REST APIs in Spring Boot. So in the previous video I already have discussed how to integrate the Elasticsearch in Spring Boot application and how to perform the CRUD operations there. If you don't know how to integrate Elasticsearch as a search engine or as a database in Spring Boot APIs, then please go and watch those videos on my channel. In this video, we are going to do a query DSL on the fuzzy query. That means we are going to implement the fuzzy query which is in the Elasticsearch in the form of Spring Boot APIs. Okay, so let's get started for that. So before going there, first of all, I will try to explain you what is fuzzy search and what is fuzzy query and how we can implement it in the Spring Boot APIs. So let me try to go to the next slide and here we come. So first term is what is fuzzy search. So generally speaking, fuzzy searching, more formally known as approximate string matching. That means it is the technique of finding the strings that are approximately equal to a given pattern rather than exactly. So let's say you want to search something. Let's say you want to search the laptop and you miss the T out of it, or in at the place of T you put P. Okay, so the term become laptop or laptop. Okay, so still it will give you the exact result of the laptop. So this is called the fuzzy search. And now let me try to go to the Google and try to show you these things. So if you'll go to the browser and let's say here you search for the laptop, okay, still it is giving you the laptop result, right? This is called as fuzzy search. Either you can skip one term or you can put or exchange the term with the other character, still it will give you the same result. Now let me try to put K at the place of T. Okay, so let's say it is laptop. Okay, still it is giving the result for the laptop, right? So this is about the fuzzy search. Now let me try to explain you what is fuzzy query in the Elasticsearch. Okay, so let me try to go to the PPT and here comes. So fuzzy query in Elasticsearch. So this is a query that returns the document that contains terms similar to the search term as measured by a Levenstein edit distance. Okay, so what is Levenstein edit distance? You can Google it and you can get it out. So let me try to explain you what is this edit distance is. An edit distance is the number of one character changes needed to turn one term into another term. These changes can include changing a character. Let's say you change the box to fox, still it will give you the result for the box. Removing a character, let's say you put black to black, inserting a character, transporting two adjacent characters. So those things are the one edit distance change. If you have the term which is only containing the box and you are going for the search as a fox, it will give you the result of the box itself. Okay, so these are the things. This is the edit distance and this is the fuzzy query in Elasticsearch. Now what we'll do, we'll try to implement this fuzzy query of Elasticsearch in the form of Java Spring Boot APIs. Okay, so we'll try to create one API that will try to search in the form of fuzziness. Okay, so let's say we have inserted couple of products in our Elasticsearch index and we want to search the product based upon their name, and in the name we are not providing the exact product name, we are just providing the fuzzy name or we are providing the approximate name. Still it will try to fetch out the particular product and then show you. Okay, so that we are going to do in this video. So let me try to go to the IntelliJ and try to show you. I have already created one Spring Boot application which integrate the Elasticsearch in it, and I have created two APIs which one of them is inserting the product in the Elasticsearch index and another is fetching out all the product from the Elasticsearch index. So let me try to go to the IntelliJ and try to show you those things. So let me try to go there, and here we come. You can see this is the application that we have developed, and coming to the pom.xml, what all the dependency that I have included, let me try to show you. So I have included the Elasticsearch, I have the Spring Web, and I have the Lombok. Okay, so these three dependency I have included. And coming to the hierarchy, let me try to show you. I have created this product entity which has the ID, name, description, quantity, and the price. And we have defined this index which is a products. Okay, the same index will be created in the Elasticsearch. And we have the product repository, we have the product service. In the service we have created these four methods. One is to find out the products, second is to insert, third is to update, and fourth is to delete. So we have created this CRUD methods. And coming to the product controller, we have created these two APIs. One is to find all and one is to insert. Okay, so these all things I have already covered in one of my videos. There you can go and watch it out, how to integrate the Elasticsearch in a Spring Boot application and how to perform the CRUD operations there. So uh, so these are the things. Okay, now let me try to make the Elasticsearch up and then try to run this application, try to connect both of them and try to hit the find all API to show you what all the product I have in my index. So let me try to go there. I have installed the Elasticsearch here, and you have to go to the bin of this Elasticsearch. So let me try to go there. I have installed this Elasticsearch version 7.17.9, and if you go inside it, if you go to the bin, you will find this Elasticsearch bat. So where it is, here you can see. You have to run this in order to make your Elasticsearch up. So just look for the Elasticsearch dot bat and then run it. So it will take few seconds to make this Elasticsearch up. Once it is up, already configured the indexes and everything in our Spring Boot application. You can see if you go to the application properties file, this is the port number on which our Elasticsearch will be up locally. It is 9200, which is the default port for the Elasticsearch. And coming to the cluster name, this is the cluster name that I have provided. Okay, so let wait for few seconds. Once the Elasticsearch is up, yeah, it is up. You can search through it. It will give you the port number where it is up. So it is mainly up on the port number 9200. Let me try to go to the browser, and let me try to search for the http localhost 9200. Okay, so here we come. You can see your cluster name is this, and okay, so it is not taking the cluster name that we have provided. And these are the things, like our Elasticsearch is up. And let me try to show you something. So if you'll go to the search, here you can see what all the indexes you have created. Okay, so I have the index, you can see ABC, and the second index is products. So if you'll come here to the IntelliJ, and if you'll come to the product controller, sorry, product entity, you can see this is the index that we have created, and we have also inserted couple of product in our index. Okay, so you can see I have the products index, and in the product index we have the product 1 which is mobile, we have the product 3 which is charger, we have the product 2 which is laptop, and we have the product 12 which is still laptop, sorry, tablet. Okay, so these are the things, these are the product that I have inserted in my Elasticsearch index. Okay, and now let me try to make this. So like if it is new for you, then I have already lot more videos on my channel which talks about the Elasticsearch and Spring Boot integration. I have made one separate video where I have discussed about the Elasticsearch integration with the Spring Boot. I have 3 or 4 videos where I have told you how to do a query DSL in the Elasticsearch with the Spring Boot. So please watch it out, and then you can continue watching from here. Okay, so this is about the uh, Spring Boot and Elasticsearch. Let me try to make our Spring Boot APIs up and try to hit this API and try to show you if it is working fine or not. So if you'll go to the product controller, I will try to hit this find all API. I have already showed you that a couple of product I have inserted in my index. So let me try to search for it. So if you'll go to the Postman and if you'll try to hit this API, just hit enter, and you can see we have this four products. Okay, and if you want to insert couple more product, then you can go and hit this API. Okay, so let me try to hit this API and try to insert one more product. So if you'll go to the Postman and if you'll try to go here, okay, and let's say this is charger, something like that, good product, something like that. Okay, let the price be 2000 and just send it. So you can see it is inserted. Now let me try to again hit this find all API to show you if it is inserted or not. So we have the mobile, we have the charger, and we have the laptop, tablet, and again we have the charger. Okay, so the price of the charger is different. The first one is 1000 and and this ID you can see, right? The second one is 2000. So which one we have inserted? We have inserted this one, which is ID is 101 and the price is 2000. So if we'll go there to the find all, you can see this is inserted, right? So both of the APIs are working fine and it is talking with the Elasticsearch, right? So now let me try to implement the fuzzy query. Okay, so before going to implement the fuzzy query, let me try to hit the fuzzy query in this index, the product index that we have created. Okay, so we'll go there. So you can see, let me try to remove it first, and here you can see we have Elasticsearch up on the port number 9200. This is the index that we are going to hit, and we are going to search out of this index. So if we'll hit this API, you can see, okay, why it is giving the error, parsing exception and all. Let me try to again hit it. Our Elasticsearch is up. Let me try to show you something else. So let's say, okay, so it should not have a body. Let me try to do a text, or let me try to remove it, none. Okay, and now if we'll try to search and then hit it enter, then you can see here we are getting all the four products, or sorry, five products that we have inserted in our product index. Okay, you can see these things are coming. So this way you can search out of your index from the Elasticsearch directly. Now let me try to do a fuzzy search on this Elasticsearch index. Okay, so how we'll try to run a fuzzy search? We are going to run a fuzzy search based upon the product name. So here you can see we have the name as mobile, we have the name as charger. So based upon the name, product name, we are going to do a fuzzy search. Okay, so at the place of laptop, I will try to give laptop and then see if the laptop is coming or not. So that is what we are going to do. So if we'll go to the now you have to go to the body, you have to select a raw. Here you have to select the JSON and you have to provide this query. Okay, so from where you will find this query, you can go to the Elasticsearch and fuzzy query, and here you can see it has given you the description of what the query is looking like, and this is the query. Okay, so now let me try to go there, and this is the query, right? So we have the query, and the query is of fuzzy type, and on which we want to perform the fuzzy search. We are going to perform the fuzzy search on the name, product name, and what is the value? Let's say that we have provided the value as a laptop, and fuzziness is a criteria, so we keep it as auto. So fuzziness is a criteria. You can keep the fuzziness to one character or two characters, something like that. So as of now we keep it as a auto. So let it be. Okay, so let me try to search it now, and here we come. We have find one product, and that product is laptop. We are providing here the value as a laptop, still we are getting the laptop, right? That means the fuzzy query is working fine. If you'll go for the mobile, let's say I have provided the mobile, okay, something like that. I have replaced the B with V. Okay, now let me try to search it. Still we are able to find the mobile, right? So that means fuzzy search is working fine. So this is the query, and this query we are going to implement in the Java or Spring Boot, and we'll try to form a Spring Boot REST API. Okay, so let's get started for that. Now let me try to go there to the IntelliJ. Now let me try to tell you what the whole flow we are going to implement. Okay, so first of all we'll try to create a fuzzy query. That fuzzy query will try to do a fuzzy search based upon the product name. Okay, and then we'll wrap that fuzzy query to the supplier query, and then we'll transport that supplier query to the elasticsearch search method so that it can do a search based upon that supplier. Okay, and then once we'll get the result, we'll try to display to the client. So that we are going to do. Okay, so in order to create a fuzzy query, let me try to create a util package, and then let me try to create a class called elasticsearch util, and then there I will try to create the fuzzy query. Okay, so let me try to do that. So if you right click on this and go to the package, let's say I create a util package here, and let me try to create a class called elasticsearch util. Okay, or es util you can do. Now let me try to create the fuzzy query here. Okay, so let's say public static, and the method return type would be fuzzy query. Okay, so I will create a method which will return the fuzzy query. Okay, create fuzzy query, and here we are passing the product name, which is not the exact name, it is the approximate name. Okay, so string, and that will be coming from the APIs itself. We'll try to pass it as a path variable. Okay, so let's say you can see product name or field name, or you can say approximate product name. Okay, now let me try to do the implementation. So we have, let me try to create a very well value. Okay, and let's say its name is fuzzy query. Okay, and we are going to create a fuzzy query dot builder. So we have created a local variable called fuzzy query, and we have builded this fuzzy query here. Now let me try to design our query. Okay, so return fuzzy query dot, we'll try to pass the field name, and let's say the field name is name, and this should be coming from here, right? If we'll go to the product, you can see this is the field name, which is name, and based upon this name we are going to do the search. Now we have to provide the value, and that value we are going to provide from the API, which is approximate product name, and then we have to build it, and that's it. You have to return it. So we have created the fuzzy query based upon the name. Now let me try to create a supplier query. Okay, so public static, and this query will try to pass to the elasticsearch search. Okay, so supplier query get supplier, or you can see create supplier query, and we are passing the approximate product name. Copy this from here, pass it here, and now let me try to call this create fuzzy query inside this method. Okay, so we are going to create a supplier query. Let's say it's a supplier, and we are just going to create a query here with the help of fuzzy query. Okay, so query dot off, and this is the DSL, right? If you don't know how to implement the DSL, you can go and watch it out. Like there is a lot more video of match all products. Okay, so those things I have already covered. Then you will get the idea of it. Okay, so this is a fuzzy query, so it should be a fuzzy type dot fuzzy, and we have to pass this fuzzy method that we have created, and let's say pass the approximate product name. Okay, so we are good now. Let me try to return it from here. So let me try to return on the next line, return supplier. So we are good now. So what we did, we have created the fuzzy query, and this is doing a fuzzy search based upon the product name, and then we have created one supplier query out of this fuzzy query, and this query will try to this method will try to call and will try to provide or pass to the elasticsearch search method so that it can do a search out of this supplier query. Okay, so let me try to, either you can go to the product service method, and here also you can create that method. I will try to create a separate service class called elasticsearch, and then there I will try to perform this separation. So elasticsearch service. Okay, let me try to annotate this class with @service, and now let me try to auto where the elasticsearch client. So elasticsearch client have the search method. There we need to pass this supplier query. Okay, so for that we are going to auto wire this because we need the search method. Okay, so we are good now. Now let me try to create the search method here. Okay, so let's say it is public, and the return type would be search response, and it should be a product type because we are getting the product in the return. Okay, so let's say it is a fuzzy search. Okay, fuzzy search, and we are passing the approximate product name. Okay, so it should be approximate product name. Okay, and we'll try to call the supplier query method from the elasticsearch util. Okay, so let me try to create a variable or reference, you can say, of supplier type. Sorry, it should be, the query should be coming from the elasticsearch. So you can see this is the query. Okay, so yeah, we are good. You try to make sure that this is the query that you are importing. Okay, so we are good now. Now let me try to name it like a supplier, and let me try to call the method which is returning the supplier from the elasticsearch util. So this is the method create supplier query. So copy this and go to the elasticsearch service, paste it here. Sorry, with the help, this is the static method, right? So with the help of the class name, you can directly call it. Okay, so we are doing that same thing and pass the approximate product name here. Okay, so we are good now. So what we did, we just call the elasticsearch supplier query that we have created in the elasticsearch util method, which is consuming the fuzzy query, and we store it in the supplier variable. Okay, so now let me try to call the elasticsearch search method, and then there will try to pass the index as well as the supplier query. Okay, so let me try to do that. So the return type of the elasticsearch would be elasticsearch search method would be search response. Okay, so let me try to do that. So let's say it is a response and elasticsearch client dot search method, and here we need to pass the index on which you want to do the search as well as the query. Okay, so let's say the index is products, This is the index that we have created. If we'll go to the product entity, you can see, right? So copy it from here, come here to the service method, paste it here. Okay, so we have created like we have passed the index. Now what we need to do, we need to pass the query. Okay, so let me try to do that. Okay, so we are good. Now let me try to do query, and in the query we need to pass the supplier query, and we need to extract it out. So supplier query dot get, and the return type would be a product class, right? So that we need to pass here. So return type of this method would be in the form of product. So product dot class. That is it. Okay. So we are good. Now we are giving this exception. So we need to either you can do a try catch or you can throw it on the signature. So I am doing that. Let me try to minimize the search for you. So in the search, what we are doing, we are passing the index and we are passing the query. Okay, and we are in the query, we are passing the supplier query, and the return type of this search method would be product. So we are doing here, we are providing the product dot class. That's it. So we are good now. Now let me try to print this query for you, and then try to show you, and then we'll return the response out of it. So let me try to do as out, and the query would be supplier dot get. Okay, so let's say elasticsearch supplier fuzzy query, something like that. Supplier dot get and dot to string. Okay, so we'll print it when we are going to hit this API. We'll try to print the query as well, so that I can show you. Now let me try to return. Okay, so we have created this method. Now let me try to go to the product controller and try to create one API here which will consume this method. Okay, so this would be a get API. Let me try to copy it, and let me try to paste it here. Okay, so and the return type would be list of product. Okay, that will match. Okay, so let's say fuzzy search. Okay, and here let me try to provide the URL as a fuzzy search. Okay, and then we'll pass the approximate product name. Okay, and yeah, let me try to import the list from util. Now let me try to remove this method from here. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll try to call the elasticsearch search service method, which is fuzzy search here, and then we'll try to capture the response and then we'll return it. Okay, so that we are going to do. So the return type of that method is search response, right? So if we'll go here to the elasticsearch service, you can see the fuzzy search is returning the search response of the product. Now if we'll come here to the controller, let me try to create a reference for it. So search response of product type, let's say search response product service dot what is the method, sorry, it is let me try to auto where the elasticsearch service reference here. Okay, so you can see if we'll go to the product controller, we have auto where the product service, so that we can call the method inside the product service. Similarly, we have to do for the elasticsearch service search service class, so that we can call the method inside the elasticsearch search service. Okay, so let me try to do auto-var here. So auto-var private elasticsearch search service, elasticsearch search service, and yeah, provide the reference here. So you can see uh, we have, so you can see, yeah, we have auto wire the Elasticsearch search service here. Okay, now with the help of this reference, we are going to call the method inside it, which is a fuzzy search, and we'll pass the approximate product name. And yeah, let me try to make the approximate product name as a path variable. Okay, so a string, let me try to copy it from here, and the same thing we are passing here in this method. Okay, and this will throw an exception, so let me try to throw at the level of method here. So if it is a IO exception, throw. Okay, so we are good now. So what we did, we call this fuzzy search method from the Elasticsearch search service class, and we stored it in the reference called search response. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll try to uh, fetch out the hit out of it, and then we'll try to fetch out the list of product out of that hit, and then we'll return the list of product. Okay, so this that thing we are going to do. So let me try to do that. So let's say it is a list of hit that we are going to fetch out of the search response. Okay, so list of hit of product, let me try to import the hit. Okay, now let me try to name it like a list of hit. Okay, something like that, list of hit list. So search response dot hit. Okay, and that's it. Now let me try to print the hit for you so that you can see it, right? So you can avoid this thing, but yeah, I'm just try to, like, whenever we are going to hit the API, I will try to show you what all the things are, so you will be more clear on this. So we have the list of hits which is coming from the search response. Out of this list of it, we'll try to find out the list of product which are there in the list of it. Okay, so just let me try to do that list of product, and let's say it is a list of product, something like that. Create a new array list, and we'll store all the hit products from the hit list. Okay, so we'll do a hit list, we'll do a for loop, and out of this hit list we'll try to find out the list of heated product. Okay, so when we are going to hit this API, it will try to find out the hit out of that search, and then it will contain the list of product which are being heated. Okay, so that we are doing, and we'll store this in the product list that we have created above, and we'll add it simply, and this would be hit dot source. Okay, so why it is giving change variable to product list type to double. Why it is giving us to go for the double. It would be the list of product, and we have the array list. We are doing a for loop on the hit list. The list of hits of product, which is hit list, and it is coming from the search response dot hits. Okay, so it is same, and we are adding it here, and it should not be the score, it should be source. Okay, I just made a wrong thing here, so we are good now. So what we did, we just fetch out the search response. We are taking out the list of heated product, and then we are fetching out the list of product out of the heated product, storing it in the array list, and then returning the same list out of it. So that is what we are doing. So return from here, which is product list. So that's it. So we are good with the API. Now let me try to run this application and try to hit this API and try to show you. Okay, so just wait for a few seconds. It will try take some time. Okay, so you can see this API is up and we are good now. So we can go and hit our API now. Okay, so our API is like fuzzy search, and then we need to provide the approximate product name, and once it is hitted, it will try to take out the list of it and then we'll return it. So that is what we are doing, and in the logs we are printing out the hit list as well as the query also, right? So we'll try to see here in the log as well when we are going to hit this. So go to the postman, and I already have created this. So if you'll see, this is the fuzzy search and we are passing the approximate product name, and in this case we are not passing the laptop, we are passing the laptop, we are just missing out the t out of it. So if you'll hit it, you can see you're able to get the result, right? Similarly, if we'll do for the mobile, let's say mobile, so we are just passing out the b. Okay, we are not like we are missing the b. So if we'll hit it, you can see we are getting the mobile as well. So similarly you can try to do a fuzzy search on other product name as well. So this fuzzy search API is working fine. If we'll go to the IntelliJ, and here you can see we are printing out the query. Okay, so this is the fuzzy query, and here you can see the fuzzy query is containing the name and the value is laptop, and then we are getting out the hit out of it. You can see, right? Similarly, if you'll see for the mobile also, we this is the query and this is the hit out of it. You can see, and that is what we are getting in the form of result here. So this API is working fine, and this is the way how you can implement your fuzzy search in the form of Spring Boot REST APIs. Okay, so if you need some other topics to be covered, let me know. And this is about the video, guys. If you like the video, please hit the like button and please subscribe the channel for more such content. Thanks.